What if your next best marketing move isn't another trending audio or algorithm hack, but simply thinking like the creative genius that you already are? What if the same wild, wonderful energy that goes into what you make could also fuel the way that you sell it? This episode is for my makers, bakers, creators, writers, designers, fabricators, and dreamers. Today, we're taking a different perspective on strategy, and yeah, we're doing it with dirt on our hands and a way too many browser tabs open. Because your creativity isn't just the product, it's the promotion. If you love creating, you're going to love learning how to market like the artist that you already are. Let's grow. Welcome to Growing Wild, the podcast where creativity meets confidence and marketing meets mindset. I'm Jamie Cole, marketer by trade, dreamer by heart, and your host on this journey to figuring it all out together. Because let's be real, building a brand and a life that you love takes more than just strategy. It takes courage. If you're ready to finally do that thing that you've been dreaming of, launch the business, grow your brand, or just make space for you, I got you. We're talking marketing tips that actually make sense, mindset shifts that get you out of your own way, and how to fully embrace who you are without apologizing. So grab your coffee, shot of tequila, or whatever keeps you sane, and let's grow. You are a creative entrepreneur. So you already have the most important skill for great marketing. You see the world differently. While everyone else is out here chasing trends and copying templates, you are out here making magic with your own two hands. Think about what drives your creativity. Not just making something cute or polished, it's the spark, the curiosity that makes you want to try that weird color combo, test out a new recipe, or spend an hour reworking that one little detail that no one else is going to notice, but you will. It's the thrill of trying, tweaking, scrapping it, and starting again. It's the bravery of saying, hey, I made this, even when your voice is shaking. Curiosity, experimentation, imperfection. That's not fluff. That's your superpower. And surprise, those aren't just artistic qualities. They're wildly powerful marketing tools. Because marketing doesn't have to feel like a soulless business chore. What if it felt like finger painting or playing with some fonts until one gives you goosebumps? What if posting wasn't about pushing a product, but pulling someone into your world? You don't need a perfect caption. You need a feeling, a vibe, a movement, something that says, this is me, and if you're into it, come a little closer. So let me ask you, what would it look like if your next product launch didn't feel like a checklist, but more like a creative playground? What if your next email didn't sound like a pitch, but more like a page from your journal or a peek inside your brain on a good day? You can be strategic without being stiff. You can plan and play. You can market in a way that feels human, beautiful, and brave. That's the artist mindset. And it doesn't just belong in your workspace, it belongs in your business. Now, let's bring a little structure in to support that beautiful creative energy. So I happened upon this book, and I really love the concepts that they dive into. It's called Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath. It's like a field guide for making your message actually matter. You know when you explain something and it just clicks for people? Yeah, this book shows you how to do just that on purpose, every time. At its core, Made to Stick is for anyone who wants their ideas to be understood, remembered, and acted on, which, let's be real, that is every creative business owner ever. These tools work, whether you're writing Instagram captions, pitching your offer, launching a new product, or just trying to explain to your partner why you needed that new tool for your project. The best part? You don't have to be salesy or formal or robotic. You can be creative and strategic. The authors call it the success framework, and each letter stands for one ingredient that makes ideas stick. So let's break it down. S stands for simple. Simplicity is queen. Your audience doesn't need 10 bullet points. They need one thing that matters. The book points out, for an idea to reach its intended target, we must focus on the core message. An example they use is Southwest Airlines. They built their entire brand around this one clear promise. They have low fares. That's it. Boom. Seriously, go Google them and you will see lowest fares in nearly every description of their listing on Google. So, how can you implement this? Instead of listing features, strip it back. What's the real transformation, the real product? Moving on to U, it stands for unexpected. Want to get someone's attention? Don't be predictable. Be refreshingly weird. Now, the book uses an example of a high school teacher starting an anti-smoking lesson by dropping a tar-covered cow lung on a desk. Memorable? Yes. I'm sure that made an impact, but also disgusting. So how can you do this, but a little less ick? What's something unexpected that you can share this week? Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's the messy behind the scenes. Either way, stop the scroll and shake things up. Say you make clay earrings. What do you do with all the scrap clay? Wouldn't it be crazy if that scrap clay turned into a crazy claymation creation that came alive at night to run your social media account? Wacky, yes, but unexpected. Next up, C. It stands for concrete. Vague isn't going to cut it. You've got to paint a clear picture, no pun intended. The book uses the example of, instead of just saying, this soda has a lot of sugar, they said, this soda has as much sugar as 2 Pop-Tarts and a pack of Reese's Pieces. You can visualize that, right? Now make your move. You're a coach who helps your clients develop their TikTok strategy. Don't say, you can find clarity. Say, wake up knowing exactly what you're going to post this week without needing 5 cups of coffee and having a mental breakdown. The second C in success stands for credible. You can't just be cute. You've got to be trusted. Wendy's used to use the tagline, "Where's the beef?" suggesting that their burgers were beefier than their competitors. And they challenged their hungry patrons to go research for themselves. And they found out that Wendy's was the best option for their beefy cravings. That made them credible. So, how can you back your brilliance with realness? Share your receipts, your testimonials, share a win from your clients, share a review from your customers, take a screenshot of a stat, a peek into your process. It doesn't have to be flashy, it just has to be honest. Next up is E. It stands for emotional. People don't buy logic, they buy feeling. The book points out, if I look at the mass, I will never act. If I looked at the one, I will. Emotion connects. Think of all the sad, abused puppies and cats that you see on the ASPCA commercial. Imagine if they used a shot of a bunch of dogs running around. You wouldn't be able to focus in on the pain in the eyes of that singular animal. That evokes the emotion to act. Now that I've made you sad, let's shake it off and spin this idea for you. What feeling does your work tap into? Relief, confidence, play? Make that the main character in your message. Let your content speak to hearts, not just heads. Maybe you design planners. You could say, this isn't just a planner, it's how you can stop feeling like you're drowning every week. Lastly, S, and that stands for story. Story is our secret weapon. We're wired for it. We want to know what happened and how we got here. The book uses a pretty cool analogy. It explains how stories function like flight simulators for our brains. When we hear a story, our brain rehearses the situation so we're better prepared if we face it in real life. It helps us relate and visualize. That's why stories are so memorable and motivating. Your move. Don't just list all your benefits, tell the journey. You could say, this started as a sticky note idea at midnight while I was avoiding the dishes, and now I'm helping people grow their brands with ease. Boom. We feel you. Every one of these tools helps you share your work in a way that sticks. And that feels like you. Whether you're writing a caption, building a brand, or launching something big, the success framework can guide you through it with clarity and creativity. And yes, I know, there's still one more S in success. Well, it's intentionally left out, and you'll have to read the full book to find out why. So, if you're all caught up on why there's not another S, or if your brain is saying, okay, wait, I need more of this, you're absolutely right. I linked Made to Stick in the episode description because you're going to want to read it and highlight it and journal through it and reference it every time you hit a wall. Try and explain what you do. It's a total game changer. And trust me, it's not just theory, it's strategy that you'll actually use. Speaking of strategy, last episode we talked about content pillars, those core themes that keep your content aligned and focused. Well, today, I want you to think about how your creativity fits into that strategy. Creativity can be a content pillar. It can be the way that you express, the way that you engage, the way that you infuse beauty, humor, emotion, or realness into your posts. If you've ever felt boxed in by a strategy that felt too rigid, let this be your permission slip to go make creativity a part of your framework. Maybe one of your pillars is process. Maybe it's story. Maybe it's inspiration or education. Take a step back and figure out how to deliver those messages with a creative flair. Your creativity doesn't just belong in your products. It belongs in how you talk about them. All right, let's get into the juicy stuff. It's time to stop staring at that blinking cursor and start creating with the same joy that you bring to your actual work. I'm going to walk you through a few prompts that'll help you tap into your creative spark. You know, the one that might have gotten a little buried under Canva templates and should do marketing advice. Because guess what? Marketing doesn't have to be stiff or sterile. It can be a whole vibe. It can feel like that moment when you lose track of time mid creation. It can feel like flow, like fun, like freedom. So here's your invitation to let your creativity take the wheel for just a minute. Grab your notebook, open a blank doc, or just speak some ideas into the Notes app at a red light. No judgment. So let's go. What's something weird, quirky, or beautiful about your process that your audience hasn't seen yet? The messy table, the playlist that you're always working to. That stuff, that's gold. That's your story. That's the stuff people remember. Share how you name your products, the smell of your workspace, the chaos before the calm. Let people in. All right. Now, what's a mistake, a flopped idea, or a this got awkward fast kind of moment that you could share that would make someone feel less alone? This builds credibility and connection. People believe your wins more when they see your real moments. Plus, imperfect is way more relatable than polished perfection. We don't connect with perfect. We connect with human. Imperfect marketing is powerful marketing. If you had to describe your product or service, okay, if you had to describe your product or service using only concrete sensory language, how would you do that? If you had to summarize your brand in one sticky sentence, what would it be? This is your simple moment. Think taglines, brand mantras, or that one line you wish everyone would remember after seeing your content once. What's one bold or unexpected truth about your work that most people don't know? This is your chance to be unexpected. Break the pattern, challenge a myth, say the thing that no one else is saying, and say it your way. This is your nudge to stop playing small, test the wild idea, and see what happens. Now, what emotion do you want your content to stir up this week? And what story could you tell to create it? That's your emotional edge. Emotion sparks action. Do you want your audience to laugh, cry, feel seen, feel hyped? Start there. Then tell a real story that brings that emotion to life. What colors, words, textures, metaphors describe your brand's vibe? Is it cozy and soft like an old quilt? Or bright and bold like a mural? Moody and mysterious like a stormy novel? Use that vibe everywhere. You don't need permission to be creative in your own business, but if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Here it is, wrapped up in a bow. You don't have to check every box every time. But when you create from a place of fun and strategy, that's when your content starts feeling memorable, emotional, and perfectly you. Let's recap real quick. Your artist mindset, your curiosity, your experimentation, your bravery isn't just useful in your product. It's your marketing superpower. When you bring creativity into your messaging, it sticks. The Success Framework gives us a way to do that intentionally. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this hit home for you, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you know. And if you want to go deeper into what we talked about today, check out last week's episode all about building your content pillars. It pairs perfectly with this one and gives you the structure to use your creativity with purpose. Drop a comment with your favorite takeaway or something bold that you're planning to try, because we're in this together. And remember, the art you make matters, but so does the way that you share it. Until next time, stay wild.